Well, hello, and my name is Kay Lundy, and I am an INDY. I am 61 years of age. I'm going to be 62 in December, and I am a career and lifestyle coach, and I also do well-being workshops.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning to tell us a little bit about you and to introduce yourself to the community. But just tell us a little bit more about your journey that's brought you here, your INDY journey.
Well, I've been working since 1977, a very long time, and during that time I have gained so much experience, life experiences, work experiences, personal experiences, and as you grow older, you learn from your mistakes, you learn from your successes as well. And my last contract role was with in the aviation sector, and I was there for nearly 5 years and thoroughly enjoyed what I did. But unfortunately, along came COVID and I was made redundant. I was put on furlough first and then made redundant from that role. And like a lot of people, not just women, men as well, who reach the age of 50 and find themselves on the corporate scrap heap of life, it's very, very difficult to get back into corporate once you've come out of it at such a late stage in your career. My reference from my VP was amazing, and I'd reached the pinnacle of my career, so there was nowhere for me more to go, and it's very, very difficult to get back in. But to be quite honest with you, still got so much energy. I still want to help people. I still have that work ethic in me. I have a very low boredom threshold, so I need to occupy myself, and I love self-developing. So I'm not done yet. I still have a lot more that I can give to sorry, I've got sore throat. A lot more I can give to other people and a lot more to give to myself, actually. I've always been one to try things. I'm not frightened of challenges. I will put myself out there. For example, when my first video was probably not that great, but we all had to do it because we were all stuck at home. And I've just build up confidence as you go along, and I think that's a personality trait, and I like to inspire that in others. Just give it a go and see how you get on, because as soon as you stop doing the things, first of all, that you love doing or are a little bit scared of doing, you're giving up, as far as I'm concerned. And life has got so much more to give you. Experiences. I feel very sad for people who haven't got that motivation of what they might be missing in their lives. So that to me is what an INDY is, and how I feel about my present and my future.
So getting here, now as an INDY, what's your biggest challenge, do you think?
My biggest challenge is learning all of the new things. There are so many, for example, digital apps, and it's very hard. I was part of an expert membership group, which was really rewarding, but a lot of them who were on this group are virtual assistants, and I cannot tell you how many different programs and platforms there are that do a million trillion things, and it's learning about keeping up with all these new innovations. But I think this is key to being an INDY, because so many people don't bother to learn new digital things, or just new things that are coming out, and you slowly, step by step, you go backwards and you start losing traction with what's going on in the world. And it's very important to mix with all age groups, especially younger groups, so that you never ever forget that learning you know, sort of picking up something new and just running with it, not being frightened of it. And so the biggest challenge is to remind myself to do that, and to not stop and think, well, I'm not going to learn anything more, because it's very important to do so. So I have actually got some these ear things that my daughter gave me, that I put in my ears, and I can just tap to answer my mobile. So I still haven't got to grips with it, but I will do.
But this is so important, isn't it? Future-proofing yourself. But it sounds like you're moving towards it. But yeah, I'm kind of interested now to sort of flip this around and say, what's been the most important skill that you've developed as an INDY, do you think?
Well, the most important skill I've learned is to use my confidence. Because all of a sudden it just sort of came upon me when I was suppose a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I suddenly had this innate confidence, which I've never had before, where I feel like, well, I've done every situation in a work setting that can possibly happen, you know, apart from, I don't know,
a bomb exploding or something.
Yeah, a bomb exploding.
Yes.
But I suddenly got this sort of this new confidence, where it's like a wisdom almost, where when I'm in the correct setting, where you know, I feel I am the most confident, I am the most confident, and I can actually talk about things with a surety and a knowledge that other people say, oh yes, I didn't think about that, or, you know, that you can see that they haven't quite got there yet. So that's been an amazing thing to happen to me, that I've actually reached that point, because I've always felt, although it's always important to keep self-developing, you do get to that point when you're an INDY where you have reached the pinnacle, or you have reached that point in that sort of circle where you are the top. And, you know, obviously you can go out of that circle into another one and have to start all over again, but it's so nice to have that knowledge and that wisdom, and actually feel as though you have learned so much that you're at the top of your game. And that is so rewarding to me, because at times I've had imposter syndrome, thinking, you know, it's it can't be me, you know, but actually I've had to sort of pinch myself and say, yes, it is me, and now is my time.
And you know, I so much agree. This whole thing about being comfortable in your wisdom, and almost wisdom has kind of gone off the popularity stakes, you know, it's something you don't talk about, but you do have that sort of confidence and that knowledge of things that have happened. Using that, I'm just wondering, kind of as a final question, what is the best advice you would give to anyone on the INDY path?
Definitely to embrace all of your positive skills, to nurture them, to actually give them as well to other people, because especially in these last 18 months, I have received so much because I've given so much, and that has been the most rewarding aspect of this very difficult time. But the more I have given, you do receive back, and if you're, you know, you're grateful for what you have, that's such, you know, it's mindset, isn't it? It's looking after your well-being and having this mindset that, you know, you're grateful for what you have and what you can give, and you will get back tons, absolutely tons. It's been phenomenal. And, you know, I'm always trying to tell those people who just concentrate on the bad things and the negative things that it's no good to them. You know, they're not going to thrive and strive if you do that. And it's about finding good solutions to those problems so that they become you know, not even secondary, but third and fourth and way down the line, because it just affects everything. So, you know, be your positive self, have a good mindset, look after yourself, because obviously as we get older, we have to be a little bit more careful about, you know, keeping up with the exercising, eating well, and it's mind, body and soul in my books completely.